You heard of this gentleman, Simon Sinek?
No.
He's extremely famous. He has a few best-selling books. He also has these talks on TED that are like getting millions of hits. He's a very popular guy, and what he did was he kind of came up with a correlation, or he more or less codified why some organizations, why some leaders, some companies, some employees are able to do great things, why they're so successful, why they're able to motivate others, and why some are not. He came up with this codification or correlation. And the way to look at it is through his golden circle. You guys can kind of follow along on page 5. And it's pretty interesting, the research that he did. You're smiling, Elizabeth. Have you heard of it?
It's really unusual. This morning I was looking at LinkedIn. I usually do that when I'm getting ready for work in the morning at my house, drinking coffee. And he had a publication on there this morning about employee retention and about how you can, it's from his book, and it was about how if you motivate your employees with more training and you really, you get them involved in the different aspects of the business, it leads to higher retention because they feel connected to the company.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, I do know that name. I was reading his stuff this morning.
Yeah. All right, class is over. No, you can bring up a good point, and that's exactly what we're going to go into. He brings up the why. So Simon went around asking a lot of businesses, a lot of people, hey, what is it that you do for work? What do you do for work? You deliver cars? You guys all salespeople here? What do you do, Elizabeth?
Well, I'm an owner loyalty manager, so I inspire loyalty from our patrons.
Cool, and I'm a trainer, I'm a facilitator. Most people can answer that question. When it got down to the how, it got a little hairier. How is it that you're successful, so successful selling cars? What are some of your best practices? What are some of your processes that set you apart from everyone else? Not how you're, how you make money, but how are you so successful? Not many people can answer that question, but when it got down to the why, even less. Why is it that you're in the business? Why do you get up every morning and go to work? Why do you choose to be in this position versus others? Why should anybody care? He found that not many people can answer that why. In fact, he found that most people communicate from the outside in, and they start with what is it that they do, but not many people have that why deeply ingrained within them. And he mentioned that companies, organizations, individuals that do seem to be a lot more successful than others. Let me give you a great example. Apple. Who here might have an Apple product? I see at least 2 or 3 of them on the table. Now, Apple sells computers, they sell tablets, they sell equipment to listen to music. Would you guys say they're pretty successful?
Yes.
They had their why in mind since day one. So let's watch this ad. This is probably 10 years old or so, and it kind of shows you their why. 40 years old. All right. Well, I'm 35, so it makes sense.
You did say 10. I was about to say, wait a minute.
All right, so let's watch this, and yeah, he looks pretty young in this commercial there, Mr. Steve. So I just want you guys to watch it and maybe try to take away what's Apple's why.